Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're taking a deep dive into 7 principles that can really help unlock financial success. And you know what? It's not just about managing money. We're going deeper, looking at the mindset, the habits we need for success in any part of life, really.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's easy to get lost in the numbers, the technical side of finance. But real financial success, you got to have a strong inner game. These 7 steps, it's like they give you the roadmap to build that foundation.
I like that, a roadmap. So let's jump right into that first step. It's all about dreaming big.
Okay, so I know it sounds cliche, right? Dream big. But seriously, there's power in setting goals, ambitious ones.
But not just any goal, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
Not just any goal. It's got to be something that really excites you, something deep down, aligned with your values. Because that's where the fuel is. That's your motivation, the energy to keep going, even when things get tough.
Like a guiding star, right? You know where you're going, so you stay on track.
Exactly. And while you're dreaming big, got to believe in yourself too. That conviction that you can actually achieve those goals,
Wow.
like shifting your mindset from I can't to I can and I will.
Replacing doubt with belief.
Yeah.
And realizing what you believe really does shape what happens.
Right on. If you keep telling yourself I'm not good enough or I'll never get there, well, you're setting yourself up to fail. You got to start believing in what you can do. That opens up so many possibilities.
Just like Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Couldn't have said it better myself. What you believe, it becomes reality. So you got to nurture those beliefs. Visualize yourself actually achieving those goals. How does it feel? Those positive images, those feelings guide your actions.
It all makes sense when you put it like that. So we talked about dreaming big, building that self-belief. What's next on this roadmap?
Step 2 is all about passion. Find work that truly excites you, energizes you. It's finding that sweet spot where your talents and what you love, they come together.
And when you're working from that place, from passion and purpose, you bring so much more to the table.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not just going through the motions. You're driven by something bigger, and that's what leads to better engagement, being more productive, and ultimately success.
But how do you even figure out what you're passionate about? It's not always clear, especially when we've been told to follow certain paths.
That's the question, isn't it? One way is to ask yourself, if money didn't matter, what would I be doing? It helps you cut through all the noise, the external pressures, and connect with what truly motivates you, what brings you joy, what makes you feel alive.
I love that question. It helps you rediscover those passions that maybe got buried under all the responsibilities and expectations.
Exactly. And once you get a sense of those passions, then you can start finding ways to bring them into your life. Maybe it's your career, maybe a side hustle, or even just spending more time doing what you love.
Okay, so that brings us to step 3, embracing lifelong learning. In this fast-paced world, always learning is more important than ever.
Think of your mind like a muscle. It needs exercise to stay sharp, to be able to adapt. The more you learn, the more knowledge you have, the better you think. The more possibilities open up.
Like they say, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know.
It's true. And constantly learning, it's crucial to stay ahead of the curve, especially when it comes to finances.
So what should someone focus on learning to be more successful financially?
Well, financial literacy is a big one. Understanding budgets, saving, investing, managing debt. There's a ton of resources out there, books, courses that can help you build a solid foundation.
And beyond that, staying up to date on current events, the economy, new technologies. Things are always changing, so adapting is key to thriving.
Couldn't agree more. Be curious. Keep learning. What you learn will not only help you financially, but it'll make your life richer in so many ways.
Now we get to step 4, prioritizing ruthlessly. Sounds kind of intense.
I know, right? It's about getting laser focused on the things that'll actually get you closer to your goals. Time is precious. We got to use it wisely.
It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day, feeling busy, but not actually making progress on what matters.
Exactly. So we got to figure out the high-value activities, the 20% that gets us 80% of the results, and pour our energy into those.
Learning to say no to distractions, delegating tasks, and protecting time for those impactful activities.
You got it. When it comes to finances, this could mean setting aside time for budgeting, checking your investments, researching new opportunities, or building a side business.
Being intentional with time, making sure your actions are aligned with your money goals.
Right. Don't let the schedule control you. You control the schedule.
All right, we've covered dreaming big, passions, learning, and prioritizing. Now on to step 5, mastering self-discipline.
This one's all about inner strength, resilience, consistently doing what needs to be done, even when it's tough, even when you don't feel like it.
Going beyond motivation, finding that deeper drive that keeps you moving forward, even when the initial excitement fades.
Exactly. Discipline can seem restrictive, but it's actually the key to freedom. Think about it. Sticking to your budget, saving regularly, investing wisely, all that creates financial security, which then frees you from worry and stress.
Delaying gratification, resisting impulses, making choices that align with your long-term goals.
And that's not easy, especially with all the temptations around us, but it's crucial.
So how do you build stronger self-discipline?
Start by being aware. What are your habits, your behaviors? Where do you struggle? What triggers those impulse purchases?
Once you know those, then you can start changing them.
Exactly. Create a budget and stick to it. Automate your savings. Find an accountability partner. Put systems in place that make those disciplined choices easier.
And remember, discipline isn't about depriving yourself. It's about empowering yourself. It's about making choices that reflect your values, your goals, choices that ultimately lead to more freedom and fulfillment.
You said it perfectly. Self-discipline isn't punishment. It's investing in yourself and your future.
Okay, so we've covered 5 big principles already. Dreaming big, chasing your passions, always learning, prioritizing like a pro, and mastering self-discipline. It's a powerful foundation for financial success and just feeling good overall, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And now we get to step 6, building a positive circle.
Okay, positive circle. What's that all about?
This one's all about who you surround yourself with, because those people, they have a huge impact on how you think, what you believe, even how you act. They can lift you up or they can hold you back.
You've heard the saying, right? You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Exactly. So be picky about who you hang out with. Surround yourself with people who are positive, driven, people who support your dreams.
The kind of people who inspire you to grow, challenge you, and celebrate your wins.
Right. And just as important as finding those positive influences is knowing when to step away from negative or draining relationships. The people who complain all the time, doubt you, or try to discourage you from chasing your dreams.
It's all about setting boundaries, protecting your energy.
Absolutely. Creating a space where you can thrive. And remember, this isn't just about your friends and family. It's also about what you're reading, watching, listening to.
You mean like curating your information diet, just like you would for your health.
Exactly. Feed your mind with positive, inspiring content, things that support your growth and your goals.
Makes sense. So let's move on to the final principle, the 7th step, taking action. This is where all that inner work we've been talking about turns into real results.
You can dream all you want, set goals, make plans, but it's all for nothing if you don't act. You got to put those ideas into motion.
Bridging the gap between thinking about it and doing it.
You got it. And that takes courage, decisiveness, willingness to step outside your comfort zone.
Overcoming fear, procrastination, self-doubt, taking that first step, even if it's a small one.
Remember, progress over perfection. You don't need to have all the answers before you start. Just got to be willing to learn and adapt as you go.
So what's that saying? Ready, fire, aim. Take action, learn from what happens, and adjust your approach.
Right. And don't be afraid to fail. Failure's not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every successful person has faced setbacks. It's how you handle those challenges that matters.
Embrace the journey, the challenges, and keep taking action.
Now, we've talked about these 7 principles individually, but remember, they all work together, they're interconnected. It's a holistic approach to personal and financial growth.
So it's not about picking and choosing the steps you like. You got to embrace the whole system and understand how each principle supports the others.
For example, you can't really go after your passions if you don't have a clear vision of your goals and the discipline to stick with it when things get tough.
And all of this is amplified when you have a supportive community cheering you on.
It's like an orchestra. Every instrument is important to create the harmony, the beautiful music.
One big takeaway for me today is that success isn't about luck or circumstance. It's about consistently applying these principles.
That's it. Success isn't some magical thing only a few people get. It's a system, a process. Anyone can learn and use it.
It's about taking control of your life, making conscious choices, putting in the work to build the future you want.
You got it. You have the power to shape your destiny. The only limits are the ones you set for yourself.
So what's the main takeaway? What do we want our listeners to walk away with today?
The most important message is that success doesn't just happen to you. You create it. You have the power to change your reality by developing the right mindset, habits, and beliefs.
It's about owning your life, setting ambitious goals, going after your passions, committing to always learning and growing.
Exactly. Surrounding yourself with positive influences, mastering self-discipline, and taking action to bring your vision to life.
And remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the process, learn from your mistakes, and celebrate every step of the way.
You said it beautifully. It's about embracing the adventure of life and realizing you have the power to create something truly extraordinary.
It's about embracing the journey, the ups and downs, the good and the bad, knowing it's all part of becoming the best version of yourself.
I like that. Shifting our focus from the end goal to the journey itself. Because the growth, the lessons learned, the experiences, they're all just as valuable as reaching the destination.
It's about finding joy in the process, even when things get tough.
Absolutely. And remembering that setbacks and challenges are part of life. They're opportunities to learn and grow.
So it's not about avoiding failure, it's about learning from it and using it to keep moving forward.
Exactly. Building resilience, grit, that determination to keep going even when things get rough.
Having that unshakable belief in yourself, knowing you can overcome any obstacle.
And remembering you're not alone in this. We all face challenges, we all make mistakes, but we can learn from each other, support each other, inspire each other to keep reaching for our dreams.
That's a powerful message. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. If there's one thing you could encourage them to do differently, one small step they could take today to start applying these principles, what would it be?
You know, that's a really good question. I think the simplest but most powerful thing anyone can do is start practicing gratitude. Like every day.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
How does that connect to financial success or reaching our goals?
It may seem small, but gratitude, it really changes how we think. When we focus on what we're thankful for, we shift from scarcity to abundance. We start to appreciate what we have, and that opens us up to receiving even more.
So not just the big things,
Right?
but also the small everyday stuff we usually take for granted.
Exactly. It could be something as simple as a pretty sunset, a good meal, a friend saying something kind. When we train our minds to see those little moments of gratitude, it creates this positive ripple effect in our lives.
So we're building a mindset of abundance, realizing there's always something to be grateful for, even when things are tough.
Right. And that change in perspective, it can be so powerful. Approaching life with gratitude, we start to see opportunities, attract good things, create the reality we want.
Okay, I'm getting it. Start small. Find one thing each day to be truly grateful for, and let that feeling guide you.
Simple, but powerful. Try it. You'll see.
Well, that's a great way to wrap up our deep dive today. I hope exploring these 7 steps to financial success has been helpful and inspiring for everyone listening. And remember, it's not just about money, it's about who you become along the way.
And remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Embrace the process, learn from your experiences, and never stop growing.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep reaching for those dreams.